New developments. Shasta County Public Health identifies a sixth location for potential measles exposure. Find out where and who might be affected. Also new developments. The Colby Mountain Fire Lookout gets a lifeline this fire season. Find out what convinced officials to keep it running with a human lookout. But first, a gun threat forced a lockdown at Las Plumas High School in Oroville today. We'll bring you the very latest.
Covering Northern California. You're watching Action News Now. Coverage you can count on.
Las Plumas High School in Oroville was under a shelter-in-place order earlier today, this afternoon, with multiple law enforcement agencies on campus investigating. Action News Now reporter Sade Poulin went to the location when we first got word around 2 this afternoon and tells us what she found.
Hi, I'm Sade Poulin with Action News Now. I'm here at Las Plumas High School in Oroville, where a lockdown happened earlier today because of a possible student having a firearm on campus. Now, the lockdown happened a little bit before 2 p.m. this afternoon. According to Megan McMahon, the public information officer with the Butte County Sheriff's Office, she says at 1:51 p.m., a staff member from Las Plumas High School reported receiving information about a possible student on campus with a firearm. So the school was placed on lockdown. Deputies responded immediately, searched the campus, and conducted an investigation. It was determined that there had been a physical altercation between students earlier in the day, during which a firearm was mentioned, but no weapon was observed by any witnesses. Now, I spoke to students here at the lockdown, and they told me that it was very nerve-wracking and scary, but a lot of them were reunited back with their families after the lockdown, and they said they're glad that they are safe. In Oroville, Sade Poulin, Action News Now.
Now, officials said that no weapon was ever actually seen by witnesses, just the mention of a firearm. The Butte County Sheriff's Office's deputies are continuing to investigate the allegations. New at 6, the Shasta County man arrested for abusing a 5-month-old baby was held to answer on all charges in court. We reported last month that Christopher Hasley pleaded not guilty to charges, including assault on a child and torture. He was arrested after deputies were alerted by a local hospital of the baby's extensive injuries. Shasta County's district attorney's office says the infant is still in critical condition. Hasley will be back in court for arraignment February 23rd. New developments. Shasta County Public Health has identified a 6th location where people may have been exposed to the measles. We told you last week that Public Health sent out an alert about the places where a person with the measles had visited during their 8-day contagious period. Today, they said they are working to contact employees and members of the public who are at an additional location, Ninja Coalition on Dana Drive. That would have been on January 23rd between 2:30 p.m. and 5:30. The other locations where the person visited in that window of time, January 23rd to the 28th, included Highland Neighborhood Park, Osaka Sushi, the former Cross Point Church, Costco, and Churn Creek Healthcare Clinic. New tonight, a man died in a crash along Highway 299 in MacArthur. It happened yesterday at about 12:30 in the afternoon, right where 299 meets Highway 89. They say the man who died was elderly and handicapped, and they say drugs and alcohol are not to be considered factors. Now, a time-lapse video from the Alert California Girard Ridge camera in Shasta County, looking at the beautiful Mount Shasta right there. Still plenty of snow up there. Perhaps more to come before the season ends. Howie joins us now with our first look at conditions.
Yeah, we're going to see some more for sure, Alan. Now, we have a chance at some rain and some snow over the weekend. We'll get into that. But right now, storms to the south, they're not really impacting us here closer to home. But across the Sierra, we are seeing a little bit of rain and snow. Again, not impacting us immediately here. But if you're driving that way, a little bit of rain and some snow over there in Reno. Back in our neck of the woods, temperatures right now, they're starting to cool down, but still in the 60s in a good portion of the valley. The mountains already dropping down into the 40s on the chillier side. Winds on the light side, but we've been lucky, really, without, in terms of fog. We haven't been seeing it. All that dense fog has been staying down to the south. Visibility's looking good. We're not dropping down due to our warm-up during the day. We're not falling as quickly and as far at night, getting close to dew point temperatures. So we've been avoiding at least the dense fog and a good portion of the patchy variety. But we're going to cool. And as we talked a minute ago, Alan, we have rain and snow chances. We'll talk all about it.
All right, thanks, Howie. New developments now. The Colby Mountain Fire Lookout in the Lassen National Forest, northeast of Butte Meadows, will remain operational during the coming fire season. The Butte County Board of Supervisors actually had sent a letter to the U.S. Forest Service urging them to keep the lookout operating. Last fall, the U.S. Forest Service announced plans to permanently close the tower, which is actually located in Tehama County but looks out over eastern Butte County. And they said it was just too costly to maintain and to make repairs. 2 Alert California cameras were to be used as smoke detection tools for the mountain. Longtime fire lookout Ken Jordan says those cameras are not as effective as having a real person on duty.
Just the fact that it's so important for the community for them to feel safe, they need the lookout not just open, but they want me up there because I've been there for 41 years. And I'm pretty good at my job after all those years.
This summer will mark Jordan's 42nd fire season in the Lassen National Forest. He says he's often the first person to spot smoke, and he also assists hikers and bikers and others in the area. Repairs are still needed, but Jordan said that work will continue while he remains on duty at the tower. New tonight, California farmers who grow fruit for canned products suffered a major setback as Del Monte Foods announced plans to close its only remaining cannery in the state. According to the California Farm Bureau, the closure will affect roughly 600 employees and 1,200 seasonal workers in Modesto. Del Monte has been a processor of California-grown fruits and vegetables for more than a century. The closure could leave many farmers without a buyer for their produce. Farmers who planted fruit orchards under long-term contracts with Del Monte said they were weighing their options and bracing for steep losses. New at 6, Whiskeytown National Recreation Area is moving forward with a major expansion for cyclists. Under a new National Park Service rule, nearly 80 miles of trails will soon be authorized by bicycle and e-bike use. The rule is set to publish in the Federal Register on Monday and will officially take effect March 11th. While bikers are already allowed on some trails, this clears the way for bicycle use across the park's full planned trail network once improvements and designations are finalized. We're getting a look at the man who Reading police arrested after a high-speed chase. This is Daniel Kaiser from Reading, and yesterday police received a be on the lookout alert for him saying he was wanted for domestic violence, possibly armed, and had made statements about suicide by cop. Well, around 3:30 yesterday afternoon, a deputy saw Kaiser driving on Interstate 5. They say that he sped off, leading officers on a chase at speeds above 100 miles an hour. Police say Kaiser tried to ram police vehicles several times and eventually drove through a yard and crashed into a tree. He was arrested after a brief struggle. Police say they found these items in his car, including 2 AR-15 style rifles, 2 loaded handguns, and thousands of rounds of ammunition, which he was not allowed to own. A new affordable housing community is taking shape in Magalia with construction now underway. The 64-unit multifamily housing development, Lake Ridge Circle Apartments, started construction in October of last year. For Magalia, this project marks a turning point. Lake Ridge is the only development in the Campfire burn scar funded through federal disaster recovery money from HUD, the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development. The director of rental housing with CHIP, the Community Housing Improvement Program, said these apartments will cost just over $35 million.
The area that we're at is considered part of the burn scar when the devastating fire happened back in 2018. And so Magalia is a really small unincorporated community of the county that sometimes got left behind. A lot of attention went to Paradise, which also needed a lot of assistance. But this community here itself also felt a lot of the brunt of the fire itself.
The campfire destroyed more than 13,500 homes and hundreds of apartment units, including one of CHIP's own communities in Paradise. CHIP says projects like this are meant to help people who were displaced and help them return to the upper ridge, and just as important, give them a sense of stability. Applications for the apartments will begin 1 month before completion. We'll let you know when that period begins. An advancement for the Paradise Sewer Project. It's also advanced in its environmental review process. The town is continuing to prepare an impact report set to be released in April. They'll analyze impacts of the project and look into reasonable alternatives. You can learn more about the project on our website, actionnewsnow.com, under News Links. The Reading Riverfront Specific Plan has begun the environmental impact report process. It is entering the public scoping phase required under the California Environmental Quality Act. As part of the process, the Reading Planning Commission will hold a public meeting that'll take place February 10th to get input from the public on potential environmental impacts. Shasta County formed an AI task force. Supervisor Matt Plummer said that the goal is to find practical ways to use artificial intelligence and robotics to improve life for everyone locally while preparing for the future. Options include using AI to prevent homelessness, using predictive algorithms, using robotics to thin forests and remove biomass for the fire risk reduction, and developing an innovative center for robotic and AI medicine and surgeons. Plummer says AI could also help streamline plan, check, and permitting and simplify public meeting topics and outcomes. You can weigh in by taking the AI Task Force survey on our website under News Links. A big boost to California Highway Patrol. Will show you the ceremony that saw more than 100 new officers getting ready to join the force. But first, the Butte Humane Society celebrates over 100 years of service with new milestones. We'll see how many local pets found homes and care last year.